Disclaimer. These videos show some tips to help you on a thru hike of the AT. The ideas presented are not the only way, merely one hiker's experience. Remember, hike your own hike.
Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. I scared the ducks away. Oh, well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome back to
Tips from the Trail.
And today I am just outside Philadelphia, and I'm taking a good little walk through the Wissahickon. And I'm coming to you with a topic of conversation that I think is going to be very important for the new group of thru hikers this year, and anybody that's thinking about doing a thru hike at any time. And that topic is over preparing or over planning for your thru hike. First off, I just want to clarify this by saying, yes, you need to plan, and planning can greatly improve your chances of success. A lot of people that don't make it on their thru hike, it is because of poor planning and not knowing what they're getting into. Okay, well, this idea came to me to have this little discussion, or this tip from the trail, from listening to the Pox and Puss podcast, which is a podcast for, about the Appalachian Trail and for hikers and stuff like that. So if you want to check that out, Pox and Puss podcast, I think they're on iTunes, but it's a fun listen to anybody, or a fun listen for anybody interested in hiking and the AT and stuff like that. But they touched on it very briefly in one of their podcasts, the idea that when someone decides to do a thru hike, they go into this over preparation mode where they're just getting as much information into them as they can. They're reading articles, they're watching videos, they're research, and how that can actually not be the best way to do it. One reason why this may not be the most efficient way to prepare yourself for your thru hike is everyone is different. And if you are just basing all of your decisions off of what other people have done and what has worked for other people, it may not work for you. And you're not going to know until you get out there and try it. So one downside is you are making all of your decisions based off of something that someone else has done instead of going out and finding out for yourself. Along with what you're reading or what you're seeing about the trail being someone else's perspective on it, it's also a little skewed most of the time. It's very hard to write about or bring into the videos and such about how difficult it is. And a lot of times what you're seeing is, well, the great things that come with the trail, and it's not preparing you with how difficult it can actually be. Because, well, for me, for example, in my videos, I want to make them enjoyable to watch and inspiring, so I don't always include the times where you're broke down on the trail. This is where, if anybody knows of some good sources of information that actually show how hard, got cars and airplanes, I'm not outside, look at this. I guess this is a trail. But if any sources of information that actually are a good source to show how difficult it is, to show people that it's not just a walk on a really nice path, that it is mountain climbing, and it is mentally and physically so demanding and so hard. I think by watching some of the videos and stuff, you're not getting a really good representation of it. Another great way of getting that is getting out there and trying it. Which leads me to my number one biggest piece of advice that I can tell anyone getting ready to do a thru hike is stop watching my video right now, hit pause, close your laptop or shut off your computer, grab your bag, and go hike in the woods for a week. You know, I know it's not possible for everybody, but that is going to be your best way of getting the information that you really need, is to test your gear. How does it work for you? Test your boots, break in your gear, see how you react to certain things. How hard is it for you to set your tent up in the rain? How is it best for you to keep your feet dry? You know, it's so important. Hey, look at this, guys. Don't throw up. I'm just kidding. I won't hurt you. Anyways, but it is the best way for you to find out how things work for yourself, is to get out there, get on the trail, and try and do it yourself. The Appalachian Trail is so hard to describe. The only way is to actually experience it. Here's a quick sidetrack and example of what I mean. I researched a lot before our hike. Sharon and I actually did about 15 months of planning from the day one. So if there's anything about over planning, we did it. But from day one of deciding we were gonna go, it was 15 months later before we stepped foot on the trail, which is more time than you need, but I'm glad that we took that much time. Now, one thing that I researched a lot of is I have what I would say is very warm feet. My feet tend to sweat, and I was really trying to find a way, what pair of socks, what boots, breathable, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go into it, but it wasn't until, which way do I go? I'm going up. It wasn't until we did a week long on the North Country Trail before we hit the AT, and it wasn't until that hike that I found out, and I didn't find it from a video, I didn't find it from anything besides testing. What it worked for me was that I don't need hiking socks or anything like that. I actually wear just liner socks or like synthetic dress socks. I wore synthetic dress socks in 0-degree temperatures in the mountains in Georgia in snowstorms, and my feet were still warm. It's weird, that's just me. I never found that in anything else. I had to find that out for myself by doing. Another downside to spending so much time looking at videos and reading articles and such is that you're not doing something that you're actually going to be doing on the trail, which is hiking, which is doing the physical activity. It's much more valuable to go out there and hike, and because I mean that's what you're signing up for. You know, you're not signing up for just looking at beautiful views, and you're signing up for hiking for 12, 16, 8 hours, 18 hours in a day. So a much better use of your time is to go out there and do the physical hiking and actually do that physical preparation. Though it's not, I would say, needed, because you'll have plenty of time for your body to get stronger on the trail. I think that that's a much better use of your prepping time than looking at videos at stuff that you're really not going to figure out until you try it yourself. I think I'm lost. I actually have not been paying any attention, and I think it drives 2/10. There's a gate up there. I think I may be lost. I don't know. Another common thing that over planners are doing right now is that they're trying to schedule everything way too rigidly. We met some people on the trail, we won't drop any names, but that actually had outlined every day how far, where they were staying, and after having to redo that plan 3 times because of just unknown things on the trail, they eventually gave up on the idea that their itinerary for every day was going to work. Things happen. I know that some people are going to be able to make that work, but the majority of people are not going to be able to to stick to that plan, because you know it's gonna fall through and you're gonna have to replan. That's part of the trail, is you're living on the trail and you plan day to day, week to week. We've also received a lot of questions about mail drops lately, and I don't know how everybody's doing it, but I know some people that actually put the postage on each mail drop and packed it specifically for certain amounts for each package. And that may work for some, and a lot of this video I'm saying that. I'm gonna stop because I'm back out to the road. But for us, I think it worked much better. You know, having someone at home to work with while you're on the trail, allowing you and kind of freeing you up to make decisions on the trail and not beforehand. Saying we're going to be here at this time, we need this much food, and having them send it to you, because you know, it's gonna change. You can't really make those decisions on the before you get on the trail, because you never know what's going to happen. So being able to allow yourself the ability to make those decisions on the trail and not having to rely on, you know, plans and decisions that you made 3 months ago is going to be very helpful. Sharon, there's a map. Sharon, where's my navigator? Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's my 2 cents on over planning on the AT. Now, just like I always say in the beginning of these videos, you know, this is my opinion and this is, you know, how it worked for me. It's going to work different for everybody. If you love, you know, planning and watching videos, then do it. I'm not saying you don't have to. I will suggest getting out there and hiking and testing a little bit more. But if you love watching the videos, my videos, then keep watching them. And I hope that this video has been helpful, and we will see you later on. That's the wrong outro, darn it! I hope that this video has been helpful, and stay tuned for more tips from the trail, because if it worked for me, it may work for you. Bye bye.
Until we meet.
Oh, he was gonna pull away though.
Happy trails to you. Smiling until then.
Here, we can walk
I am
around.
happy trails.